What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Dead State, where seriously, like, urban combat had reached a whole new level in the previous episode. Like, I've been so excited about doing the next recording session for Dead State. I really have been, like, fantasizing about it. A guy tried to kill us with a chainsaw! How does that happen? How does that happen? This guy came out of here like he was in some slasher movie, decided he was going to try and take our faces off and, like, wear them as shoulder pads or something. It was nasty. We beat him to death with a baseball bat. Actually, we unleashed the DACA on him. The only reason we survived is because I guess for once, I had the foresight to bring the proper weapon. And so we brought the hunting rifle, and the hunting rifle carried us through that fight so hard. So hard. Like, we got a lucky crit that one-shotted a guy. Like, I actually think we may have just kind of, like, sloughed our way through that by pure happenstance and accident. But we survived, and that's all that I care about. Now, I want to know. They said that I could use my horse as storage, and this is important to me right now, and so I want to try and do it. So where do we find horse storage at? I realize I'm asking people that cannot actually respond to me, but I want to figure... Oh, motocross armor! Oh my god, I forgot we got all this cool gear! I'm so excited right now. We get to do all this equipment. And a chainsaw! Oh my god, I want to use that on somebody right this second. I may put that on Tweedletime and just have him carry it around with him, so at some point when somebody tries to act super hard, we can just be like... Yeah, I'd run away. I'm not down. Nope. If somebody pulled out a chainsaw, I would lose my shit in a heartbeat. Like, say what you will. Say what you will. But I think most intelligent people would run the second they see a chainsaw come out in a fist fight. I'd be like, whoa, this has... Even if I had a gun, I'd be like, this kind of is escalating right now. This is sort of escalating. You got a chainsaw. I've got a gun, but the chainsaw is sort of intimidating. How do I use the horse as storage? How do I click on him? No, I don't click on the... How do you use the horse as storage? Maybe it's like one of these magical things where you click. No, it's not one of the magical things where you click. That starts and ends combat. Well, I need to dig up where the horse is because I feel bad about the fact that, like, I haven't been using it at all. And yet, oddly enough, we're full up at the moment, so we have a couple of decisions we need to make. The first one being, do we go back and just, like, recuperate? Because we're in pretty bad shape right now. Like, seriously, we're a little bit roughed up. I actually think it might be a good idea to disengage for now and maybe come back, like, on the next day after we've healed a little. I don't know if there's going to be more fights down here. That's the other thing that I would be worried about. But anyways, let me figure out how to use my horse for storage. Like, there doesn't appear to be any horse-shaped button or, like, vehicle-shaped button around here anywhere. I don't know. I see nothing shaped like, well, there's a trunk inventory right there, but... it's not letting me use it, so I don't know if the horse actually counts. People had said that I could load 200 pounds on my horse and that it would work, but the trunk inventory is not lighting up right now. So that would be the first thing that I'm going to struggle with. Either way, let me go ahead. I'm going to fiddle around with it and see if I can figure it out. Okay, so apparently it was a bug. That's all that I looked it up on the forums right now, and apparently there was a bug where you could open the trunk on your horse, basically. I don't want to know where they were storing the items, and that it makes sense why the horse's eyes were so buggy all the time. Let's go back to base. I think we're in really bad shape, and we probably just want to, like, clock out for the day. This was one of those adventures that got way out of hand. Like, seriously. You showed up to just go, like, loot some stuff, and a bunch of guys with chainsaws came and tried to murder you. I think the developers fixed it is what happened. So from what I can tell... from the forums is there was a bug where you could open the trunk on your horse and you could store the same amount of stuff on your horse as you could in the car. It looks like it's been fixed. It no longer lights up and you can no longer do it. People said you could also switch states while traveling around. So they said while you were on the map you could switch from car to horse, and then if you did that you were still on the horse but you could open the trunk as though you were in the car. Kind of like a bunch of random little things right there that I think other people had exploited to the point where I think the developers probably just gave up and removed it. Oh my god, there's so many people in our shelter right now. I'm actually feeling like really overwhelmed about the fact that I'm supposed to be taking care and like leading all of these people. I'm actually starting to feel a little bit like I'm not prepared for this. I am not prepared, as Illidan was known to say. Let's go back up in here. I like how all of our horses are the exact same color. They must be siblings. They've all got, that's Stripey number 1, Stripey number 2, face stripe, stripey jaw. They all have like a little thingy on their face. Exact same horse. They should probably like swap the colors out. Let's see here. We have Vic in our party. So yes, Victor. We definitely need to take all of his stuff and drop it off. There we go. Now that his inventory has been cleared out, we probably want to talk to Buddy Boy over here. He's still got 34 rounds. Well, good on you, man. Good on you. I love 34 rounds. And then finally we have Paul Rainier. Now, people had said that Grant was going to go crazy and start killing my members. He has not done it yet. He hasn't been anywhere near my members. He hasn't bothered my member. My member is still in the original configuration that it was. I'm not really sure. I'm getting rid of that stupid Uzi. That MAC-10 is the worst gun ever. I'd actually rather have 2 hunting rifles, to be honest. Now that we're going into some of these really, really sort of exasperating situations where the enemies are on equal footing. Like, typically the entire game, we have at least slightly outgunned everybody in terms of either armor and or... What are these? Those are 5.56s. I don't think we have anything that can go with a 5.56 right now. I think that by and large, 5.56 is going to be reserved for... That's going to be 7.62. I mean, honestly, we could just go with the crossbow for right now. I mean, the bow did an amazing amount of damage. I was actually really, really impressed by the bow. And so I'm thinking the crossbow might be similar. I might go for that. I wish you could actually stack these higher. I don't know why these won't stack, but it bothers me. We've got some 357 around, but 357 has been difficult to get a hold of. The pump shotgun, I should have used it. I should have used the pump shotgun in the earlier game. I made a mistake in not utilizing it. It was actually a really, really good gun for the early game, but now that everybody has like bullet vests and things like that, it's not quite so useful. Let's also contemplate what kind of armor we should put on everybody, because I do think that there are some considerations to be made right now as we try and figure it out. So let's go back into here. And as we take a look... The bullet vest. So you get 30 ballistic resist. Let's go ahead and take a look at the armor right now. Why is this still in here? Did I forget to... Oh, the dog sleeve. I thought that was the other one. Okay. Never mind. So, what we're looking for right now... Motocross armor. This gives us 10 to ballistic. So actually we'll be a lot more... We'll take a lot more damage from random attacks. So basically my strategy thus far with armoring people has been to negate bullet damage as much as possible by putting a bullet vest on everybody and then trying to ensure that they have the supplementary gear to at least get their other resists up to like 15-20%. I don't know whether that's going to be long-term viable, and it may be a better plan at this point to throw that on our tank and just kind of have him have that. And then also we've got the riot shield, which is 10-5, 10-5, 10. That's going to be 10-5, 0-5, 10. So that's probably decent for the next person down the line, I think, which is always Vic. So we'll throw that on him. It raised his... No, it raised his weight by 2 pounds. That's unfortunate. I was hoping that it might not. What does he have going on? He's got slash resist, piercing resist. I think I'd rather keep him with the tactical arm guard. Tweedle time, keep him with the tactical arm guard. Let's see if anybody else has anything worth mentioning here, though. With him, he could definitely use an upgrade. So I might give that to... That gives him 10 instead of 5 and 5. So yeah, give him the chainmail shark gloves. Oh, they're called butcher's gloves. Okay. I would call them shark gloves because that's where I've seen them. My old man's a scuba diver, and so he has like a chain suit and everything for shark diving and stuff. Like all that random stuff you need when you're in like dangerous areas, scuba diving. I don't know. He was really into it for a while. Anyways, let's see over here. Who am I missing? Buddy. I'm missing good old Buddy. Well, until we can upgrade some of this leather over here. Didn't we have reinforced leather? Oh, we did, but it wasn't as good as the riding leathers, as I recall. That gives 5 bite, 5 fire, and 5 slash, and also 5 piercing. That gives 5 piercing and 15 bite. I mean, the bite resistance isn't that big of a deal now that zombies are no longer like a major threat for us. I don't know what to think about it, honestly. Do we have 2 football helmets? Do we now? Hold on. Do we have multiple? Oh, we do. We have multiple football helmets. We'll give him a football helmet then. That'll make him feel better. That'll bring up his resists pretty well. I feel like a motorcycle helmet would be way, way, way better at defense than... Especially if it's one of the expensive motorcycle helmets with like the lining and everything. I feel like the motorcycle helmet gives you way better off than just like... Let's see. Defense 2. Oh, that is better. Defense 3. 5, 10, 10, 5. Whereas that gives you bludgeoning. Does it give you... What do you get out of this? Oh, you get some slash out of it. Okay, so you get a little bit of slash. But you lose some ballistic. Or no, you get ballistic out of it. So you lose bite. You lose ballistic. Bludgeoning's 10, 10, 5. So you lose a little bit. I mean, it's kind of better. Like, I guess you're kind of just like moving dots and tittles around. It does have more... defense, but it gives you ballistic resist, and it gives you a couple other things that this helmet doesn't. Whether or not it's better, I think, depends on the situation. I'd have to fiddle around with it a little bit more, but we'll see what happens as we're out and about during our day. Give him the crossbow? Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I do wish, I very, very much wish that you could actually I don't know if I should use this or not. It's kind of heavy. It seems like it would bog me down. But damn, is it defensible. Like, seriously, look at the resists on that thing. Look at the resists on that thing. Wow. That'll make you just like a god of war if you're carrying it around with you. Additionally, we had the katana, but I think the katana's two-handed, right? Yeah, and so if you're going to pull out the katana, you gotta, like, have other things. I figure I'll bring the katana along just in case. Ooh, the unasumi. Okay. What is this right here? Crafted from the Yuk Tamahagane. I don't know. I know that I mispronounced that. It's probably like Tamahagane or something like that. Types of composite steel. Without the flash and adornment of modern katanas crafted for enthusiasts, this weapon is nonetheless solid, expertly made, and wickedly sharp. Does 40 to 60? Oh my god. That's a lot of damage off one weapon. That thing is a Hellraiser. Jesus. Like a Hellraiser with like the word spelled R-A-Z-O-R, like Hellraiser. Anyways, I don't know if we should go back out. Should we go back out? Let's risk it. Let's risk it. We've got time. I'm just going to try and loot some buildings and stay out of trouble. That's all that I really care about for right now. I'm not actually... if I see anybody, I'm going to avoid conflict with them until the next day because I would prefer to get my health back up. But I would like to loot a few more of the locations and bring some more stuff back with us. I think since we've got so much time... Oh, there's a grapevine? Yeah. Go ahead. Do your thing. I mean, it's going to take us a little while, but we'll still get back home in time. You only have to be home before, like, midnight or something like that. We should still be okay. We got 14 grapes. Yeah, it sounds grape. That sounds absolutely great. I actually meant to say great, and then I said grape on accident. That was unintentional. Please do not harm me or throw bricks or, like, rotten food or whatever. Damn, we're looking like badasses right now. Half the people in our group look terrifying. Well, I mean, our main character. Look at him right now. I wouldn't fight that guy. That guy looks like he's, you know, like the point in 28 Days Later where they go up to the top of the building and there's that guy and his daughter who are up there with the creme de menthe and he's like holding the entire corridor every single night by himself and they have like rain collectors on the roof. That's what it reminds me of because he had something similar on, I think. Let's have a look around here and make sure. Did I loot all this? I'm gonna need my loot prompt because I can't find anything without it. We may have actually gotten all this, which means this is far more risky than I originally intended. This is what happens when I play this game and then I take little breaks and things. Is that locked? Alright, open it up. Seriously though, we'll probably die if this doesn't work. Like if somebody comes to investigate, this could be really, really problematic. I only see one more guy who's dressed like a looter on the map, so maybe we'll be okay. But it's hard to tell. I'm gonna come around over to here so that maybe we can see them as they come along. What did we leave? So we had the fireman's jacket. He still can't carry that much. Wow, he's already overweight. So that basically makes him non-useful as a looting character. Predator tank. Oh, never mind. It was bugged. That was the problem, is that it wasn't showing everything that was on the character. That explains it. That actually seems like a lot more loot. He had a shotgun that entire time, and he actually could have hurt us really, really badly had he thought to, like, whip it out. This place is gnarly, man. They rode over somebody with a riding mower. He got literally mowed down. Like, I don't even know how to address this situation. They just murdering people for fun. Look, she's got a machete stuck in the top of her head. And she's sitting like she's perfectly fine. She's sitting like she was contemplating something or like nervous. And it's like, dunk. Shit. Oh, man. Is that a looter? What is that? I'm not okay with this. Hold on. Set active. And then reload that bad boy so that on the next turn, you can fire. And like, I don't think the crossbow is going to be as useful as the bow. Because the bow allows you to just like do whatever the hell you want. I'm going to have him swap positions right there. And then we'll make that active. Take a shot right here. A Predator Spearman. He doesn't have very good armor though, so I think he's probably done for. We should be able to hurt him pretty badly. Yeah, 81 damage right there is what we laid down on him. I don't know if we want to use guns or... whatever. Forget that guy. I just had like an Indiana Jones moment where I was just like, you know what? Do we really have to go through this right now? Let's just shoot him. Like, basically, I don't want this to escalate any further, so I think we should just finish it off. We'll kill the guy real fast with the gun. We'll come back later. It'll all be fine. I have 85 pounds on me right now. Like, just from gear. How crazy is that? Another crossbow. Very cool. Okay, I'll take that. A pitchfork? Holy shit. Little known fact, pitchfork rarely used for moving pitch around. Not what it's known for. Also, very, very bad at baseball, so obviously, probably the wrong tool for the job. Let's see here. Grab those. We may have another individual who wants to come over and be friends in just a second. We are making quite the racket whenever we loot, but you know, I'm not worried about getting my tennis on right now. They can't stop me. They can't, you know what, the more you try to put me down, the more I shall be like, euthanasia is a bit of an overreaction, don't you think? There's the joke right there. I was actually worried this week. I was getting really worried. My cat was sick for like 3 days. I was really concerned. Actually, he wasn't sick for 3 days. I'm exaggerating right now. He was sick for 1 day. He had like the kitty flu or something. I don't know what was wrong with him. But basically, he was just running around having dry heaves all day long, like the entire day. Like from the moment he woke up, he didn't eat all day. He was hiding under the bed all day like somebody beat him or something. Like it was bad. He was real slinky. He wasn't feeling good. But luckily, ooh, a gun store. You would think the predators would have looted this out already. Like, this would be the first thing that I would hit if I hung out in this place. And, of course, we get a craptastic Glock out of it. We can't find any of the super special guns that they hide behind the counter. We gotta find a Glock. Not to down-talk Glocks, but people have bullet vests and stuff nowadays. It's just like, I like how they keep a bandage on the premises just in case somebody shoots their toesies off. I like that. Preparedness. Yeah, I was really concerned. I was actually like, alright, if he's not better by tomorrow morning, I'm gonna take him to the vet. Because I don't think we have much of a choice. What is that, a predator trapper? Oh, he doesn't know about us right now. What's he doing? He's just like hanging out over there? Hit him with the crossbow. Get him. Yeah, that sucked. Being hit with a crossbow would be the worst. I would figure the impact would be the part of it that would actually be the most miserable. Like, if you think about it, getting hit by a crossbow, like crossbow bolts, I don't think they're accurately represented in video games very often. Like a crossbow bolt is like an elbow size, not even, well, it's not that huge, it depends on the crossbow. But frankly, you're looking at something that's roughly the size of, I don't know, I'm looking around my desk for anything I can reference here. But it's a thick, like, a crossbow bolt is probably like a half, 3/4 inch thick, like, cylinder of wood that's been sharpened with a bolt on it. It's got a big, like, metal spike on the end of it. And that thing, with a crossbow, that's like a major, major advancement. The benefit of the crossbow is that plate mail had trouble stopping it. So basically, it was the weapon that kind of like, the longbow could get through plate mail every now and again, I think, as I recall. I remember watching a documentary on that at some point. Don't quote me on it, though. I'm not a historian. Now, I remember the longbow could get through chainmail, and it could get through some of the fancier stuff. But the crossbow was the one that really just wreaked havoc to the point where I think the Vatican said it was an evil weapon or something like that because it was just like too good at killing people. I remember there being some vague piece of trivia I read at some point about the Vatican saying people shouldn't use crossbows or something like that. I don't know. I'll have to look that one up. What is this? A Western history? Ooh, cool. Fuel for the mind or a nice warm fire. Oh, man. I don't know. Most history books I've read are super, super cut and dry. You only read them out of desperation because your teacher tells you to. I think that history is honestly best learned through locations like Reddit and things like that where you have highly qualified people who are just like sharing their expertise. What is this? Candy Ship, a board game that spawned the phrase, "You ate my candy ship." That sounds amazing. Sounds awesome. Anyways, let's go back. We're going to drop this stuff back off at base. We're actually kind of full up right now. I don't necessarily think that we need our main character to be so overloaded like he is right now. I'm slightly, I don't know, is Paul loaded up already? I can't tell. Did we already do stuff with him? Paul, come here. Damn it, Paul. Damn it, Paul. Switch him in a spot right now. There we go. Gotta get my Doug voice on. Actually, no, we have a little bit of space left. I think Paul could make it work. I like how it let us clip through him on that point, but it wouldn't let us do it before. But yeah, I remember something about the Vatican talking about crossbows or something. Maybe I'm wrong. I vaguely remember some trivia along those lines, though. Vaguely. Very, very vague. Is there anybody else in here? We've killed a lot of people today. The first group was obviously a lot worse than the second group. The first group was just like, holy shit, he's got a chainsaw. I think that's the main conversational point that dictated that entire engagement. When a guy whips out a chainsaw in a fight, just think about it right now. You go to the bar, you get a couple drinks up in you, you start getting mouthy, dude pulls out a chainsaw. What's your reaction? I know what my reaction would be. You guys need bigger bouncers, and your bouncers also need guns and or chainsaws because they are not equipped well enough to protect me from this dude over here who just whipped out a chainsaw. I was expecting to catch a knuckle upside my head or something. I was not expecting at all to catch a chainsaw to my duodenum. I like that word. The duodenum is a good word. I've got to find some other part of my body that starts with a K, though. It's a largely accepted fact that in comedy, the K sound, the hard K sound, is the funniest sound. How somebody determined that, I'm not really sure. I guess they must have had some kind of like scientific test. 14 parts, hell yeah. Even though I can recycle them at this point, it doesn't actually get me that excited anymore. Getting the free parts. I mean, I can get my own now. It's just kind of like a long, drawn-out process of me. Maybe you should reload that. There you go. Oh shit. We're about to get hit with a crowbar. Luckily. Yeah, eat a crossbow bolt. See, even with this weapon, he managed to, like, really resist a lot of that. I'm not sure what just happened here. He'll come out eventually. Okay, so it's going to be back to Bud's turn. No, that's Paul's turn. Paul has amazing initiative, by the way. Paul's initiative is second to none. Well done, Paul. I don't know how you developed this skill, but you deserve it. Shoot him with a bow, please. Arrow! There it is. He only took 22 points of damage. That's concerning. I don't like that at all. I like the fact that this can fire and reload in the same move. That's what I like the most about it. That's what makes it like a superior... Ooh. There's a critical hit for 111 damage. And so hunting rifle comes through again. Hunting rifle, this is why we hang out with you. This is why we hang out with you. It's not your conversational banter. It's not the fact that you've got stories for any type of party. It's the fact that, frankly, you're just nice to have around. I'm going to hit this guy. There we go. I think you automatically crit if they're laying on the ground. I don't know if we can actually carry any of this stuff back with us. This guy is once again like strapped to the gills for like war, like anything he would need. I don't know if there's anybody else in here. We can check and see if anybody comes up on our... Nope, nobody else is coming up on our list. That's like the easy peasy way to like cheat and figure out if there's anybody else on the map to be worried about. It won't work 100% of the time, but it'll work like 85% of the time. Oh, there's all kinds of good stuff up in here. I actually think the nail gun might be better than I gave it credit for. I think the nail gun, the 35 piercing damage, the fact remains that as with many video games, piercing resistance is hard to come by in this game. My guess is that piercing resistance will probably get its biggest resist. Like, the thing is that when you have a piercing weapon, I honestly think piercing and ballistic probably should have been, like, combined, to be fair. But, I don't know. Maybe, it's a tough call. It's a tough call. Let's head back to base. I'm not going to go into that thought because I'm not really sure I can scientifically justify it right now. I have to think about it a little bit harder. I do think that them being distinct, I guess ballistic and piercing resistance is distinctively different because a ballistic vest won't stop an arrow, but it'll totally stop a bullet because it relies on the velocity of the bullet to like bring the mesh together. If you don't know how a bullet vest works, essentially it's got like a weave. And the weave is configured in such a way so that when something hits it at a high velocity, the weave tightens and becomes more resilient. So that's why a knife will go through Kevlar. If you got like a buck knife will go through Kevlar like butter. It's like it's not even there. But that's because it's at a low velocity, so the suit itself doesn't have a chance to like contract when the point hits it because it's optimized for high velocity. I don't know if I should be carrying all this stuff around with me. This all seems like a bit of it seems like a bit of overkill for right now. Then again, we don't really know when we're going to get jumped by people who are more hardcore than... Why am I carrying around a crossbow? Throw that in there. Crossbow, I have no need for thee right now. There we go. Where did my shield go? Did I accidentally click it? Man, I wish there was like a middle range shield instead of like the tower shield. I would much rather... Like the buckler is okay, but it doesn't give me enough resistance. I wish there was something in the middle somewhere. Like not just like the buckler... Something like, oh, I don't know, like a round shield, like a Viking-esque round shield would be suitable. Because for right now, look at the weight on that thing. 20 pounds, 15 pounds. Like, this character is utterly useless for looting now, but he's so good in combat. He's such a badass. That's the problem, is that I don't want to get rid of his stuff. What can you do? Let's go ahead and go with Vic. Victor, we need you to throw all of your goodies into the stockpile. There you go, Victor. And Bud Larson, we will take you over here, and you will throw all of your drugs and codeine into there. Yes, we do not want you to have the gun if you are the guy with the codeine. That is not a good plan right there. That is a plan that shall fall apart very quickly, I think. Let's go over here. This should be working fine. We still have like 31 arrows left. I may run the pump shotty on Paul for a while, just so we don't waste ballistic rounds. I may also do the same thing on Vic, because it's better than like the pistols. At the same time, I always forget how you split these. There we go. That's what I wanted. We'll give him 50 shells. And we'll throw those over there. We'll clean that out. That's looking pretty good. Actually, I need him to have, oh my god. Where is our, I used up a bunch of our EpiPens, didn't I? There we go. Oh, we have 22 EpiPens? My god, I had no idea we picked up that many. Seriously, I had no clue. We've picked up a lot of EpiPens. We are seriously prepared for the future. I should probably grab some of these and throw them. Wow, we used up all of them in that fight, though. That was close for us. That was really, really a close call. Okay, so since we've got that, I'm going to keep the hunting rifle on him because I think he's doing a pretty good job with it, and he is a superior ballistic character. Since we want to save arrows, they're a really, really good weapon to have. What I might try to do right here is actually just kind of like put shotguns on people, because I feel like the shotgun is starting to wane in its usefulness as we get towards the end of the game. And so my goal here is to use up all that ammo. I don't know if we're going to find an AA-12 right after this or something, like some kind of combat shotgun. If we do, I'll regret this decision. But for now, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcast for the next episode of Dead State. I look forward to seeing you all in future episodes. I enjoyed myself today. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I will see you all later. Hi, everybody.